Morning, guys. We're heading,
Morning.
yeah, we're heading out for breakfast, and then we're gonna go hit some garden centers. I'm looking for just a few annuals, maybe to put in where I've cleaned off some of the perennials earlier. Um, and I've had luck locally. I found some Angelonia for like a buck 50. But anyhow, we're gonna go shopping and have some breakfast, and I'll show you what we find. It might be some bargains, middle of July. Yeah, no, somewhat of a bust today. So far, we've been, Home Depot, Lowe's, but
Yeah,
everything.
don't forget to say though, we did find exactly what we needed
Yeah,
for the
we
new
did.
sump pump.
We did. We
Yeah.
did. So anyhow, it hasn't been a bust, but they are keeping their plants at full price here for some good reason. That's probably been too hot for people to plant, and they're hoping for a cool down. But um, we're still going to get out and look at other places. But so far, a little bit of a bust, except for yesterday. Anyhow, we're going to keep looking. We'll show you. So, guys, we did find this in the shade area because I'll show you where I'm going to put these. But you get 2, 4, 6, 8 of these sweet little impatiens for $4.48. Yeah, and that's the color I was looking for. So these are going to go home, and I'll probably trim them back, give them some water, some fertilizer, and then get them in the ground in the shade area where I've cut off some ferns. I love this color. I'm taking them home. $4.48. You can't beat that price. So I changed my mind. I went with a little brighter color than the orange. It's a big decision.
No, it's not.
It's a big decision for me, how I want it to look from the deck. Let's go. So here's what I've come home with. Yesterday I found these wonderful angel face Angelonia white, and they were only $1.50. But what I'm going to do, and if you scoot in here, Reg, I'm going to come into this plant and I'm going to cut it back to where there's a couple leaves at least to have it rebloom. These are the ones I have out front are beautiful, and I watered these. This has blooms yet, and I've kept them in the shade. I've watered these, and then this morning I did give them some fertilizer, liquid fertilizer. I use Miracle-Gro. And then with these, what I'll do, they feel wet, but I want them hydrated, and then I will fertilize these. I'll stick them in this little pot, let it soak up from the bottom, give them a day or two before I plant them out. And these are for full sun, which will be gorgeous, and they're going to bloom just like they would forever. Our weather looks great. Middle to the end of July here, and they will bloom until we get a frost. Both of these. This is my shade lover. Okay, this will go under the willow tree. This will go out in the garden that I see, and I'll get those planted in a couple days. I'll bring you along for that. But for right now, they're just going to go into a little TLC time, get them ready to get planted out there because they've been in their pots too long. So guys, it's been a couple days. I've got the plants hydrated. I've got them fertilized. They're looking good, and it's an overcast day, so it couldn't be any better, and I want to get these in the ground. And the plants I have are the angel face white Angelonia, and a buck 50 on sale. So these are going to go in. I have always gardened from the first time I started gardening. What the book I read said, it only matters to the gardener when you're sitting in your favorite spot. And this has become my new favorite. But up on the deck, when I'm sitting in my chair, and I'll put a little picture up, I can see the spot between my little zinnias and hostas and things over there that I want some color. I've never had to worry about extra color into the fall until this year because everything has bloomed 3 weeks earlier.
Yeah, bloomed and gone.
Bloomed and gone. I've cleaned out. So this is just something I need to put in my notes, my journals, that I'll probably be looking at putting in some annuals in different spots in my garden once my perennials have died back and I've cleaned them up. So the angel face is going where there were some daylilies and where I see a bare spot for just some color into the fall, and it's going to be the end of July. This is the middle of July, end of July when this video goes up, that we'll get until frost with these Angelonias. And if they do anything like the ones in my window box have done, they'll do great.
Oh,
And
the pink ones in the
the
window
pink
box
ones are the same
Oh,
same
okay.
variety.
Yeah.
So they have just bloom, bloom, bloom. You really don't have to
Well,
deadhead.
I was just commenting on that window box this morning. It looks fantastic.
I know. Reg and I are just so happy with it. So these Angelonias are going to go in there. They get 18 wide, 24 inches tall, spacing about 12 inches apart. And then these little impatiens, these are called the Impatiens walleriana. I'm going to call them that. And I want that color in the little elbow shape or peninsula shaped bed down here, because I'll put a picture up when I'm sitting at the high top with Reg. That's what I see. That's what he sees. If we have company and there's a cocktail hour, that's what they see, that little peninsula. So this will add a burst of color now that I've cut the ferns back. And all I'm going to do is I have my compost. I'm going to put some compost in the holes, and I'm going to add a little flower tone for their roots. I want to give them a big boost so that they can really burst out into flower and be ready to go with these warm temperatures. They'll do great. And then if I think about it, maybe once every 2 weeks if I'm giving my pots any extra fertilizer, I might do these because they're starting in July, end of July, and I want them to go till November. So I'll take you to where the spots are. So what I've done, I've gone ahead and gotten 4 out of the 5 planted. And I've put the compost in their holes. I've got compost in this, and now I'm just adding a little handful of the flower tone fertilizer to the composted soil. And like I said, I'm giving these a try to see how it's end of July. We're going to see what I need to do for next year for backup plans, whether I start seedlings, whether I buy extra annuals, if it makes that much of a difference to what I see when I sit down.
You know, the weather's changing so much.
It is. I wanted to show you the roots were great on these Angelonias too. So I'm just sticking that in, putting the soil around it with a little bit of the flower tone. And they like the heat. Once they're established, they are pretty much a little bit drought tolerant too. They don't require as much water as what you think. So I've got the 5 planted here. And then what we're going to do, I'll get all these watered in before I go back up on the deck, and I'll see if it looks like what I want it to look like when I'm done.
Yeah, that's what we need.
But let's go to the shade garden, and we'll get those Impatiens wallerianas, I'm calling them that, in the ground too. So this is the color. I debated on a creamier orange when we were at, I think it was Lowe's we found these. And then I saw this little brighter color, and I'm still thinking about when I'm looking at them, it'll show up really nicely. If these do well, I'm hoping they will fill out, give me a little color into the fall. So anyhow, the same thing, I've already gone ahead, planted 7 of the 8. I threw in some compost, some flower tone, and this shade area stays shady pretty much all day. So I'm hoping these will do well. And I will keep these watered. This can be dry shade at times. The good news is, though, it's showing some rain, through the 1st of August. So that'll be nice. But otherwise, I will keep these watered. I'll stay on top. Whenever you're planting things this time of year, I'll stay on top of planting my Angelonias too until I think they're doing well. But I still come down and I do water everything once a week, whether they need it or not, anything in pots every day or every other day. So that's it outside of watching them grow. So fingers crossed, because I love this idea of putting in a few more plants. I love to plant. So I'll see you on the deck. You can see my model down there. He's pointing to the white color. That's the Angelonia. And I think in a week or 2, I'm going to love it, love it, love it. Thanks, Reg. Walk on over to the island bed. I'll go over to the island bed. This is going to be a little harder to see that little orange bloom. But I'm going to magnify. Almost. I think it's going to be great. I'm going to try it. Thanks, Reg. So that was the project today on gardening on the West Fork. And Reggie's the best model ever. I hope I can show you in a few weeks how gorgeous everything looks.
Did I look fat?
You did not.
Camera adds 10 pounds.
I know.
At least.
At least.
So the question is, how many cameras were on me?
We had just 1. Magnified, though.
Okay.
Magnified. So anyhow, this is just what I'm going to find out. If you don't try things, you don't know what they're going to do. So we'll see what I need to do for not only this season, but next season. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay cool. Bye.